I believe that you like this speech. There are 3 secrets of good English communication skills. 1. Know the structure of the sentence that you speak or write. 2. Learn a few grammar rules. 3. Speak with clarity. When you read or speak sentences, there must be clarity in your expression. Also, when you write English sentences, they must reflect what you intend to say. If your written or spoken sentences do not convey what you are trying to say, then there is something wrong in your English communication skills. Come on, now I will tell you the right way of speaking and writing English. The first secret of effective English is understanding sentence structure. Every sentence has some basic building blocks. You must identify them. You must read or speak each block as a separate part of the sentence. There should be no overlapping of blocks when you read or speak sentences. Look at this example. Listen how someone is reading this sentence.
The children who could solve the puzzle in 10 minutes are from metropolitan cities.
Now, I read the same sentence in a different way. The children who could solve the puzzle in 10 minutes are from metropolitan cities. There is overlapping of blocks in my speaking. This is not the right way of reading or speaking English sentence. To speak English clearly, you must identify the subject, verb, and the modifiers, which are the building blocks of a sentence. You must read each of them as one group. That separation of the building blocks must reflect when you read or speak sentences. Understanding the structure of the sentence. The essential building blocks or part of a sentence can be categorized into the subject, verb, and modifiers. When reading or speaking, you must read or speak the subject as one block, the verb as one block, and the modifier as one block. If you speak this way, people will easily understand what you speak. Also, if you divide a sentence into 3 blocks this way and read, then you can easily understand its meaning. Now, please listen to the excerpts of a speech delivered by UN Women Goodwill Ambassador Emma Watson. Try to observe the building blocks of each sentence.
I was appointed as Goodwill Ambassador for UN Women 6 months ago. And the more I've spoken about feminism, the more I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it is that this has to stop. For the record, feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused being called bossy because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents. But the boys were not. When at 14, I started to be sexualized by certain elements of the media. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their beloved sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly. When at 18, my male friends were unable to express their feelings.
Now, let me make a detailed analysis of the sentence structure or the various building blocks of a sentence. The structure of a sentence. Primarily, every sentence has three parts: a subject, a verb, and a modifier. The subject. Usually, the subject is the performer of an action. For example, the people of India speak several languages. In this sentence, the subject is people and the verb is speak, and the subject performs the action, that is, speak. At times, however, the action could be performed on the subject, in the sense someone else performs the action on the subject. For example, I was appointed 6 months ago. In this case, the subject is I, but the subject doesn't do or doesn't perform any action. Instead, someone else performs the action or does the action on the subject. In this case, the verb is said to be in the passive voice. The verb. The verb is the action that the subject performs. The verb is the most important part of a sentence. You must understand the following aspects of the verb: the meaning of the verb, the tense of the verb, and the rules governing its use. We will discuss all these aspects of the verb in our coming tutorials. In this tutorial, we will discuss some details of the modifier. The modifier. The modifier gives some information about the subject or the verb. Sometimes the modifier might be placed between the subject and the verb. Important things to know about the subject of a verb. The subject can be a noun, phrase, or clause. Nouns indicate the names of persons, places, or things. For example, Tom, Lisa, New York, India, city, all these are nouns. Phrase. Phrase. A word group without a verb is a phrase. A phrase can also be a subject. For example, the United States of America, people of India, walking 2 miles a day. All these are phrases. A phrase can be used as the subject. For example, walking 2 miles a day keeps you healthy and fit. In this example, the subject is walking 2 miles a day and the action is keeps. If I ask you what keeps you healthy and fit, then you would say walking 2 miles a day. What is a clause? A clause is a word group with a verb. A clause can also function as the subject. Examples of clauses: that the governor rejected the bill, what people want, why the CEO resigned. In this sentence, a clause is used as the subject. That the governor rejected the bill shocked the legislature. If I ask you what shocked the legislature, the answer would be that the governor rejected the bill. Thus, in this sentence, the subject is that the governor rejected the bill. Now, observe this sentence. Why the CEO resigned is still a mystery. In this example, why the CEO resigned is the subject. I have already said that when speaking English or reading English, the subject should be read as one block. It means you need to identify whether the subject is a noun, a phrase, or a clause, so that you can read or speak the subject as a single block. Also, note that when speaking, you should give more stress to the nouns and less stress to the verbs. Now, listen to someone who is reading some nouns and observe how she is giving more stress to the nouns.
List of nouns and noun phrases: Alice, Bella, cat, dog, England, India, Delhi, boy, book, table, people, the United States of America.
Now, observe how she is reading the verbs or how she is speaking the verbs. She is giving less stress to the verbs.
List of verbs: accept, break, call, dance, walk, speak, follow, was appointed, are manufactured, will be sent.
Important things to know about the verb. The verb could indicate an action, position, or possession. Action verbs: do, take, speak, make, break. All these are action verbs. The sense, in this case, the verb indicates an action or the subject is performing an action. For example, the president spoke to the foreign delegates for over 2 hours. In this example, the subject, the president, is performing an action, that is, spoke. Position verbs: am, is, are, etc. are position verbs. For example, the Taj Mahal is in Agra. In this case, the verb indicates the position of the subject or where the subject, that is, the Taj Mahal, is. Possession verbs: have, has, had, etc. are called possession verbs. For example, Hyderabad Hub has experts in several disciplines. In this sentence, the verb has indicates the position, what Hyderabad Hub has or what the subject possesses. The verb could be standalone or non-standalone or complete or incomplete verb. Standalone or complete verbs. Only these verbs can function as verbs of the subject. Do, did, speak, spoke, take, took, etc. are examples of standalone or complete verbs. I eat meat. I ate meat yesterday. All these are complete statements or complete sentences. Non-standalone or incomplete verbs. These verbs cannot function as verbs of the subject. Doing, done, eating, eaten, etc. These are incomplete verbs. I doing the homework. I done the homework. All these are incomplete sentences. When writing or speaking English sentences, you must use only complete or standalone verbs. Modifiers. What is a modifier? A modifier is a word or word group that describes another word or word group. The commonly known modifiers are adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives: rich, poor, strong, weak, intelligent, wise, beautiful, frequent, etc. are examples of adjectives. Adjectives describe only nouns. For example, in the phrase rich people, the modifier or the adjective rich describes the noun people. Now I express the same phrase differently. Instead of saying rich people, I say people who are rich. In this example, the relative clause who are rich is a modifier. I am going to teach you all types of modifiers in detail in my upcoming videos. Now look at this sentence. People who live in villages lack employment opportunities. This sentence could be written in the following ways too. People living in villages lack employment opportunities. People in villages lack employment opportunities. Living in villages is a present participial modifier. In villages is a prepositional phrase. Thus, in the example above, the subject is people and the expressions who live in villages, living in villages, and in villages are modifiers. Writers usually make these sentences very complex by placing several modifiers between and around the subject and the verb. If you could identify the subject, the verb, and the modifiers, and if you could understand the meaning of each component, then you could easily understand the meaning of the whole sentence, no matter how complex it is. Now, try to understand the meaning of this sentence.
When the British declared independence for India, after decades of its freedom struggle, The then social movements, originally launched to fight against the British rule, were transformed into political parties.
What is the subject in the sentence? What is the verb or action performed by the subject? How many modifiers are there in this sentence? What is the central idea of the given sentence? Now, try to understand the meaning of another sentence.
The brain of a child who's nourished and nurtured, read to and played with, protected from factors like stress and conflict, has the best chance of developing its full potential, because it's proven that children who receive proper care, nutrition, and stimulation in the first 5 years do much better in school and in life.
What is the main subject in the sentence? What is the main verb? Is it an action verb, position verb, or position verb? How many modifiers are there in this sentence? What is the central idea of the given sentence? All these things are very important, right? You will learn all these things in detail in my upcoming videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell. You get notifications of my new videos. Important things to know about the modifiers. Modifiers, also called middlemen, are usually placed between the subject and the verb. Sometimes you might feel difficult to understand a sentence because of the presence of too many modifiers. Of course, you could understand a sentence easily by separating the modifiers from the subject and the verb. Types of modifiers: prepositional phrases, relative clauses, participial phrases, adjective phrases, infinitives, appositives, and non-defining clauses. Now, I present some video clips of the speech delivered by the UN Women Goodwill Ambassador. Please watch this video. Try to relate the lesson that I have taught you right now to the speech delivered by Emma Watson. Thank you. Thanks for watching my tutorial. Good luck.